How are you doing today, Jamie?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Also, a quick thing. You're the first recording of 2026.
Well, Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah. Happy New Year. How was your New Year and Christmas?
You know what? New Year, I was at a New Year's Eve party. I was at a wedding in St. Paul. My wife's godson got married, and so had a real nice time on New Year's Eve. And the holidays were great. My two sons that have they're growing. I got one in college still. He's a junior. He's 21, and then I got a 24-year-old, and they were both home. So that's always good.
Wow.
And then my mom and dad live all the way across the yard. It's kind of strange. Everybody loves Raymond. If you know that TV show, that's kind of my life. But anyway, my mom and dad live across the yard. So, we walked all the way over there for Christmas Eve, and that's not too bad.
That's nice. See, for the holidays, my parents were over. I have a 10-year-old daughter, and then early December or mid-December, my son was born.
This year?
Yeah.
You have a brand new newborn?
Yep.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
That's a Merry Christmas right there.
Yeah. So the sleep is, it's okay. And then
This is your second then?
Yep.
Yeah.
My second.
So yeah, it's like, it changes a lot.
Yeah. He's so small, and man, it's just, whoa, I could go all on that, but funny thing is for people were asking me about Christmas, and I said, man, I like the best Christmas present. And they're like, oh yeah, we heard about your son. I'm like, oh yeah. The son is great. Don't get me wrong, but I got a dishwasher. No lie, Jamie. I've never had a dishwasher in my life. And then we got it as a Christmas present for me. And I'm like, man, I really have some video games, but I'll take the dishwasher. Because I wash the dishes.
You're the dishwasher. You were the dishwasher.
Yeah, I was 3 times a day because we cook a lot. My wife cooks so much food. And now we got this, and I don't even have to rinse it. And I'm just like, I swear every day I load it up at night, and in the morning I open it up and I get all geeked out.
Because you got these clean dishes.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
So at our house, our dishwasher's not working.
Oh.
And so we've gone to just doing them by hand, and they have been a while, and we're debating on whether or not do we get the dishwasher fixed, or now that we don't have the kids in the house, just the two of us. But before I was coming here, I'll let you know, I was doing a bunch of dishes. Okay. So, and as I was doing them, I was thinking, you know what, if the dishwasher worked right now, or if I had a new dishwasher, I'd be doing something else right now.
True.
So I'm going to go back home and I think lobby to get the dishwasher repaired, or each get a new one.
Finding insurance sucks. Lucky for y'all, I partnered up with Farm Bureau Financial Services. Need auto insurance? They got you. Need home insurance? Why not? You can bundle up and save a little bit because right now every dollar counts. They also do life, health, farm insurance. And if you have a bit of extra cash laying around, their financial services might help you out. Give John Cole a call and see what he can do for you. And tell him I sent you there. Links are in the description. Call 605-624-3011.
If you get a new one, KitchenAid. I don't know what it was. I was just looking up because I'm like, if I'm gonna get a dishwasher, I need to get one that's good and reliable.
Yeah.
Say KitchenAid. I'm like, fine, I'll get it. It works.
So I agree on Consumer Reports. I think does put KitchenAid ahead, right?
Yeah, that's where I go. That's where I go for
stainless.
appliances.
Did you get a stainless tub in there? Yep. How many decibels?
I don't know, but when we installed it, my dad, I guess he knows. Well, I don't know if he knows a lot about dishwashers. I guess he does, but he says, "Wow, that thing is quiet."
Yeah, they're amazing how they design them now.
Yeah, so that was my Christmas. Of course, my son is amazing. But now since I have a kid, there's gonna be more dishes. But now I got a dishwasher.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I was talking too much about the dishwasher.
Well, that's exciting. No, you know what? It's life, man.
Yeah, but how's everything with you? So I've heard. So before, a few years ago, tell me if this is correct. You ran for governor, right?
Yeah, I ran for governor of the state of South Dakota against the infamous Kristi Noem. It was quite an experience. I tell everybody, even knowing the outcome, I'd do it again because of the people I met and the things I learned. It's not easy. I tell you what, a statewide campaign, especially at that level, against somebody that you know is gonna lie about you at the end. It's hard. It's hard on families. It's hard on hard in a lot of ways, but it was so good. The people of this state were so good to me and my family. They still are. And the things that I learned along the way, and the people. Yeah, you can't ever get that back. I mean, I'm so glad I did it.
Would you, or what made you want to run?
Nobody was stepping up. I was the House Minority Leader at the time in Pierce, so I'd done 6 years in the state legislature, and they knew that Governor Nome at the time had about $12-14 million in the bank that she'd raised from outside our state. It was a whole bunch. I mean, it's a super scary proposition to go up against an incumbent that has a ton of cash, and the way that she operates and all of those types of things. But I just felt that the people of South Dakota deserved a choice. And as the minority leader in the House of Representatives at that time, I was, I truly believe that leaders lead, and when they need to, and when you need to step up when there's a need and nobody's filling it. If you're a true leader, you're going to step into that need and fill it.
Okay. What was it like, especially running like, governor?
It's an incredible experience. I mean, your days aren't your days anymore. I mean, the same would be when you're governing at that level too. Your life is not normal in any way, shape, or form. They took away my car keys, wouldn't let me drive.
Oh.
So for those 9 months that I was on that, I had people taking me places, telling me where I was going to be, what I needed to know for that meeting, who I was going to be talking to, so those things in your life really, really change a lot. But the people's willingness to share their struggles, but also their triumphs. It's really cool. And to go around, the hardest thing though, when you lose something like that, is brain chemistry is real. I tell you what, cortisol and adrenaline, they keep you going, right? And then when you're done, that goes away, right? So it's like a black hole, and you don't have any. What are you going to do? What do you got? And the other thing is all those things that you learned. And all those things that you want to do to try to help people, because that's truly why I serve. Is I'm a helper. I have a heart for people, and I want to help. And all these things now, and then you don't have anything you can do with it. You don't have the ability to put the policies in place that you wanted to do to help these people that still have those same problems. That's hard. That's why I got back in the Senate. And that's actually why I'm running for mayor of Sioux Falls at this point, is to use that knowledge that we've learned along the way to help people.
Ladies, looking for a salon with expertise? Go check out Wynie Mace. Becky and her crew are amazing. They give amazing hairstyles, spa treatments, and it's not just for the women. Guys, you can go there too. Just look at the reviews and you'll see that they are loved in this community. Tell them Jose sent you there. Go check them out on Main Street in downtown Vermillion. Okay, no, that's great. That's fantastic. Now I'm talking more candidates. Before it's like the mostly locals. Then I started talking, like, for example, Chris Caston, Sidney Davis.
Yeah.
Then I got or Leslie. She got me she got Cheryl Johnson, and then I had Dusty on.
Yeah.
Dusty was it was different. It was mostly because they only gave me like half an hour.
Yeah.
And I think usually I joke around a lot.
Yeah.
And I remember the first thing, like in the intro, I asked him, like, just joking around, because he's in Congress. I'm like, hey, Dusty, so, do you know about the aliens, secret alien stuff? But he didn't.
He wouldn't go there.
He didn't get it. I don't think he got it.
He wouldn't go there.
Yeah.
Dusty's not dumb. So but he's a guy that definitely understands what he needs to do, I think, to keep his job right now in DC. But he's on his way back to South Dakota. We'll see, how that shakes out in that governor's race. It's going to be really interesting.
Oh yeah, he's running.
He's running for governor. He, along with Roden and Doden, Dusty, and then we've got the Speaker of the House, John Hanson, all the Republicans that are in. We've got a young Democrat running, and I've heard about a couple of independents that are thinking on throwing their name in the ring. I think it's going to be a crowded race. But no, that's interesting. But I can understand only having a half an hour. His schedule has to be incredibly, between being in DC and running for governor. his life has to be absolutely crazy.
Yeah, but you guys are always busy too. Like I think it was like a few months ago, I asked the current mayor, Paul
Tenhaken,
Tenhaken, or I guess I asked his people.
Just Paul, yeah.
Yeah, and then they said they might be down. I'm like, oh snap, they answered. But then they said, hey, we can't do it. He's kind of busy, this and that. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that kind of sucks. But then I was looking more into, I guess, because I'm used to here. And then I'm looking at the stuff they're doing in Sioux Falls. I'm like, oh, wait, I forget. Sioux Falls is a giant city and they're busy.
Paul, yeah. And when I'm mayor of Sioux Falls and Paul, I mean, his schedule is, again, it's not his own. It's different. I mean, he's managed to the hilt, with different things. That was some advice actually he gave me. I got an hour of his time
cool,
because I'm running. He extended that to anybody that wants to sit down and talk about the current state of the city, but also I thought it was very helpful to think about the things that he has felt good about accomplishing and those things that he still wishes, or the things that keep him up at night, those types of things. And he shared all of that with me, but he also shared some advice, and that was be careful what you say yes to, because you really want to make sure that you are able to give everybody kind of equal yes.
Oh, I feel that.
And so if you start saying yes to everything, you won't be able to really get to the things that you have to get to. So you got to he kind of said, be a little careful about that, because your days will be gone. His solution to that, though, which I really liked, was schedule time right in the calendar for people to come to him. So for the first several years that he was mayor, he had Fridays. I don't know if this is the right times, but like Fridays from 9 to noon, you could call his people and get a 15-minute block of time with him. You aren't going to get the whole hour lunch that you wanted with him or the whole that, but you're going to get a sitting with the mayor.
Okay, you get something.
And be accessible, because that's really important to me, is being accessible. So you don't want to avail yourself to talk to people about good and bad, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. So why run for mayor? What got you interested in that one?
You know what I love? I love my city. I love people. I love helping to solve really big problems. I like being an advocate. All of those things. I've loved my time in the state legislature. I've also been a guy that have never really known up until now what is it that I wanted to do when I grew up. I've done so many different things.
Yeah.
And I've never left anything because I didn't like it. I've left it for a new opportunity. So I've been a teacher and a coach. I've sold hips and knees and trauma products to surgeons. I've stood in the corner of operating rooms helping surgeons. I've been a realtor for a lot of years in sales, but I've also worked at different points in my life. My very first job was in the ag sector. I worked for Decal Pfizer Genetics. It was more than detasseling, but it was a lot of detasseling. I can tell you that. It was a tough job, but I have worked in ag. I've worked in healthcare. I've worked in education. I've worked in hospitality. I've worked in food and beverage. I've done those different things throughout my life. And when you have such a broad background, what is that for? I've never really quite known where that, and I'm like, this is a perfect setup. And then I have the leadership and all of that along the way, right?
Yeah.
And you put all that together, and it makes for a really well-rounded person that can then talk on a lot of different subjects and have a little bit of understanding about a lot. And to be able to step into somebody's shoes and understand what their problems might be, what it is that they need to be successful. And then growing up in Sioux Falls and just staying in Sioux Falls, that's where I chose to stay and raise my family. Not that there weren't other opportunities in other places, but I'm a product of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, raised there, educated there, graduated from Augustana in Sioux Falls. My careers have taken place there. I've represented District 15 for now. It's going on my 8th year in Pierre, and it's the next logical step for me in my evolution of who I am. And I couldn't be more excited about anything than being the mayor of Sioux Falls. It's absolutely a fabulous city. And I think that we have so much going for us, and I think we can even do better.
How long have you been in Sioux Falls?
I am 54 years old. It's going to be 55.
Whoa. Okay.
So yeah, I'm old.
No.
Yeah, see, is that what you're saying?
Seasoned.
Seasoned. All right. I like it.
I like that. For some reason, my daughter right now, she thinks I'm old. I'm only 30. I'm like, oh, great. She doesn't know anything so far about that. But yeah, the hair's starting to lose. I'm starting to lose a little bit of it. But so I'm originally from Texas, and I came here to South Dakota in 2020 for work. I thought I was going to stay here for a year, me and my family. Apparently now I'm here with a kid, with a house, this and that. So
pretty soon you're just gonna, you're 100% South Dakota, and your blood's gonna get thick enough to handle these winters.
I still can't get. You saw. Look at my jacket. It's like 40.
I didn't wear one today, and you have a parka.
One day I'll get it.
I have an uncle. My aunt married a man from. His name is actually Jose as well. It's Joe Banales. He's from El Paso, Texas, and so they live down in El Paso. And it does get a little bit cold in El Paso, by the way, down in Texas every now and then because of the elevation, but not really. But when they come up here, the poor guy freezes to death.
I'm telling you, it's bad.
He just he doesn't come anywhere. I mean, it's just too cold.
It scared him.
Yeah. He fell out of the canoe one year in May in Minnesota, and when we were up there, and the look on his face was priceless. I mean, that guy was gonna, I thought, turn into an ice cube. And he just. So no, it's real, the cold, but you know what? I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that, there's some reason you stay, right?
There is a reason.
What is it?
I like the small towns.
Yeah.
The cool, I was, okay, not gonna lie. When I first was here, I was complaining a lot because I was like, man, I got to drive to Sioux Falls. I got to drive to Sioux City, this and that. It's too far. There's nothing to do. But the cool thing is living in I guess a small town is, you go to like a bigger city, but then you come back and it's nice, it's quiet. If I want to go places, we'll just take a drive. Now the drives are fine. And it's just safer and also cheaper. I'm telling you, it's way cheaper than Texas.
Yeah.
The utilities, I know people complain about the property taxes. Man, the property taxes in Dallas-Fort Worth is insane.
It's all relative to what you know before, right? And what you've seen. And you know what, we have, the other thing I appreciate, and you have that here too, but it's our schools are good.
They're cool.
We have great teachers in the area. We have healthcare. The healthcare we have throughout our whole region here is absolutely phenomenal.
It was. Vero is great. Sanford's great. Yep. They're not amazing. Everything was great.
Is. So we are really lucky, and I think that. I'm glad that you mentioned that when you the things that you see that made you want to stay here. And we hope a lot of people do, right? But we have to make it an inviting place to come. I mean, I had family that, homesteaded here years ago, but then other people came just like you for opportunity. Mine were in the 1950s. They came for business opportunities. My grandfather did from Michigan. And so, and it was all those things that you say, those thoughts that you had, like I didn't think I was going to maybe stay. They didn't. I don't think my grandma thought she was going to stay. But that's where she raised the rest of her family, and she worked and stayed until she was almost 100 years old.
There you go. Yeah, and it's I like that word you said, opportunities. There is, coming from like a bigger place, there's a lot of opportunities that me and my wife are trying to take advantage of, and looks like it's working. Especially in the. So recently, I think you guys know, I just heard about that. You know about that data center stuff that was happening?
I was just at the meeting, actually, in city council meeting in Sioux Falls on Tuesday night.
Okay. I just recently.
There was a lot of misinformation about what that meeting was about, but there were a lot of folks that showed up, a lot of passion about it, and a lot of folks wanting to share their thoughts. And it was interesting and good to see the democratic process at work.
What's going on with all that data center stuff? I know a little bit about it, but not the Sioux Falls.
This episode is brought to you by 5 Star Barbershop. Are y'all guys looking for a place to get a haircut? I recommend 5 Star Barbershop. They're the #1 barbershop in the southeast region of South Dakota. From haircuts, beards, eyebrows, shampoo, you name it. They also offer discounts for students and athletes. I will add their link so you can make an appointment because they get very, very busy. Now let's get back to it.
Last year there was a bill that we're bringing on whether or not we should incentivize data centers to come to South Dakota. Data centers are moving all across our country. It's a huge issue right now. The Internet of Things that's coming, and then the AI world that we're living in, and more things being done. It just takes an incredible incredible amount of computing power, right? Which takes an incredible amount of energy, which takes a lot of different stuff. So they're looking all over the country on places to put data centers, okay, for whatever reasons. The thing that people probably don't know is we already have a ton of data centers right in Sioux Falls right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're smaller, but they're doing the job. They're not large-scale data centers. They're smaller, but they still are doing lots of computing, taking lots of energy, doing those same things on a smaller scale. Well, now we're looking at these larger-scale data centers coming. There's economic growth opportunities that have to be looked at on one side. There's environmental problems that come with them, as well as sometimes what are the consequences, right? And so that's what I think a lot of the people were expressing, was the fear of those types of things. Then there were people expressing their fear of AI in general, and trying to debate whether or not AI is good or bad. That's a whole other debate, right? The meeting was about zoning a parcel of land to be light industrial.
Oh, okay.
That was the meeting. That was what the vote in Sioux Falls was about that day. In the long term, that'll change into what's going to be on that land and what are they going to build with a building plan going forward, and what are they going to approve for being built on that lot and all of those things. So they're moving in that direction, but there's a lot of steps that have to be stepped through in order to get to that point.
Okay.
There were many of the arguments that were brought up that I agreed with, and many of them that I didn't, and or I felt like there's good things to learn more information about, and all of those types of things, asking the questions, right? How much energy is it going to take? It takes a lot. It takes, for the size and scale of the data center that they're looking at putting on this piece of land, that takes about the amount of energy that the city of Sioux Falls uses.
Oh, okay.
So double the energy capacity, okay? That's a lot. So when we talk about electricity and all of that, one of the fears that people have, and rightly so, is their rates are going to go up. What is it that we can do to ensure that your rates don't go up? Something we got to think about, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got to think about that. They also historically have used a lot of water. Water is a very precious resource. We have to protect our water at all costs, I believe. Okay. So what does that look like? Well, lots of them have moved to a closed loop system, more like a radiator on a car. So those processes are, and the vote on this actually said that whatever goes into this industrial area can only use the amount of water that would be used for the bathrooms and the kitchen of an office building.
Okay.
They can't use it for industrial scale water use. So that was added to this when they rezoned this. So that was something that I thought was good from the planning process. But there definitely were a lot of folks that showed up that rightfully so are scared of the future and what that looks like. And I think there's a lot of learning that needs to be done along the way, and a lot of teaching, a lot of debate that needs to happen. And how many people are willing to give up their cell phone?
Not a lot. I mean, everyone loves it. I love my cell phone.
You love your cell phone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're right now talking into some microphones that are hooked up to a computer that's hooked up to the World Wide Web in some way, shape, or form, and we're probably downloading something to a cloud somewhere, right?
Yep.
All of that takes data, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the world we live in. Probably this ends up on YouTube, right?
Yeah, YouTube
Facebook is data
everywhere.
storage, right? To run YouTube. So it's one of those things that's really a challenge to try to figure out. So I got to go to a meeting of legislators, from all over the country. It's probably, I want to say it's 6 months ago now. Maybe it was 8 months ago. It was in Chicago. We had Northwestern there. We had NYU, I believe, was there. We had all the I want to say the brightest minds from around the country that are learning about AI. And they were there to help people in government learn about AI, and then talk about these very things that were being talked about at this meeting. In the how do we as a government then, what is our responsibility and our role to help mitigate the problems ensure safety for people, all the different questions that are being asked, those are questions that the brightest minds in our country are asking as well. And there are sometimes no solid answers to those questions still. So it's a work in progress.
Okay. Yeah. I think people are just scared of what they don't know. I'm a fan of the AI stuff and the tech. The only concern, it's not really a concern. The only thing that's driving me insane, because I have a gaming computer I built. I like tech. I like the tech. I like that stuff. With all these AI and data centers, it's not their fault. It's no one's fault. It's like it's supply and demand, market, whatever. These companies that would sell like parts like the RAM or sometimes the graphics card with the crypto and all that, they'll sell them to companies, and of course they'll start selling to the companies because they'll give a better price instead of the consumer. So that's why recently, over the past month,
price of chips,
and the RAM it like tripled in price.
Yeah,
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, supply and demand, right? But then you also got to look at tariff, okay, and the consequences of tariffs that have been placed. Where do we get a lot of that stuff from?
Taiwan, right?
China too,
Taiwan.
though. Okay, so I mean, it depends. There's so many different things about where we're sourcing that from. But yeah, when you're taking so much of that out of the thing, that's another thing to think about, right?
Yeah.
And so how do you keep up with that demand, and where do we make these things, and who makes these things, and what are the resources that go into making these things? Everything is, I've learned throughout my time in the legislature and throughout my life, really, oftentimes things are way more complex than you initially think, because normally I get a pretty quick gut reaction of like, well, of course, you want to do this, or well, after you learn more and more and more, then sometimes you change. The other thing it's hard for people in my world in politics to do is to change what you were believing before, right? But when you learn new things, that's an evolution that happens within each of us, I think. And when you learn new things, it's okay to make different choices based on new information. And sometimes people really get mad at people when they change their mind on certain things. But when you have new information, you should make different choices.
Yeah, I 100% agree on that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you, in politics, does it get nasty?
It can get real nasty. I've been called a lot of bad things.
Really?
Well, yeah, I'm the spawn of Satan, is one of them. I mean, that's about as bad as you get, I suppose. But no, I can take it when you pick on me. You can call me whatever you want. I know myself. You can do that. But when they start picking on my family and things like that's where I draw a line there. I had somebody recently online bad-mouthing my mother for birthing me. That person was that they no longer are part of our digital world.
Okay. I thought you said it on hard.
No. I don't know now where you're going. They're no longer in I got to be careful, because it's one thing to be a candidate and it's another thing to be a legislator. And as a candidate, I can do different things. As an official page within government, I have to accept all comers on those things, and I do. But when you're doing your candidate work, that's different. And I've got a lot of tolerance for a lot of things, but when they went after my mom, that was too far.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. So recently, or the past year, after now I started getting more views. You get the good stuff, and then you get these bad stuff, and then for some reason I'll get depending on what I talk about, because I'm not flip-flopping. I don't know. I don't have a side on whatever. I get the same thing, like new information. I've been called, they say, go back to your country, even though I'm born here. Or they say I'm part of the KKK, white supremacists. I'm like, whoa.
How can you be both? That's really unique.
I know, right? That is super strange.
That's a really, really unique position you're in there.
Yeah.
No, it is. And there's so many people. The other thing that drives me absolutely crazy are folks that hide behind their computer.
Yeah.
Just come talk to me. All right. And I know you can't necessarily do that, but it's pretty easy to get a hold of me. Give me a phone call. Let's talk. Let's go grab a cup of coffee. If you got a concern with me or a policy or a decision I made, I'm happy to sit down and talk about how I got to where I got when I made that decision. Are we going to agree all the time? No. One thing you asked about when you ran for governor, one thing I learned is people want to be seen and they want to be heard. right? And so I think you doing what you do helps people, share things so people can hear things, and the folks out there, what they want is to know that they've been listened to, but then know that they've been heard. The thing is being heard and agreed with are different things, right?
Yes.
Very, very different, right? I can hear you, and if I don't change my mind, it doesn't mean I didn't hear you. It means I think something different than you think, or I have different information than you have that help me get to where I'm at. We're all different individuals. If world would be pretty dang boring if we agreed about everything.
Yep, that is true. That's when you're mentioning about being heard and giving opinions, or generally that stuff. Like also recently, me and my wife, we've been doing little just like food restaurant reviews, because my wife is a foodie. She loves that. I'm like, oh, well, let's go check out everywhere. Like not just big chains. Let's check out different like local spots. And recently it's been hitting on TikTok and Facebook, these just food reviews or restaurant reviews. They're hitting like 40,000 views. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then I had a restaurant. There's a restaurant here called El Nopal. I promise you this isn't sponsored, but they asked us, they said, hey, we saw you're doing reviews. Can you check us out tomorrow and this and that? I'm like, yeah, sure. And the whole thing is we just want to, find like these hidden gem places and just, I don't know, show it to people. I know we did like one of the, I guess, series is looking for the best tacos in South Dakota. We went to
Where'd you find?
We went to in Sioux Falls. There's a place called Taqueria Hernandez. That one, a lot of people, they enjoyed it.
Have you been to Las Paisanos Dos?
No, I'll add that on the list.
Las Paisanos is right across the viaduct. It needs to be on your list. The guys there, shout out to Las Paisanos, but El Salvadorian though. And they have pupusas. Oh,
they have pupusas?
I love their pupusa there, but their taco too. I get the lengua.
You like lengua? Oh, snap. Okay.
So lengua tacos at the Las Paisanos. That's my go-to taco with onions and cilantro and lengua. And that's,
I'm glad you know what lengua is.
You come to town and you come up Sioux Falls and let me know. Okay.
Okay.
Your people get a hold of my people, and we'll go do a lunch there, and you can we'll see what you think.
Yeah, you should be part of that video too.
Love
snap! I'm actually geeking out now because so it's very hard because being from Texas and my wife, my whole family's like Mexican. When, because a few years ago, we were like making food for people, selling like authentic street tacos, like on the street.
Oh, yum.
And I've had a lot of people, they're like, well, what's in it? I'm like, oh, it has, it's just the tortilla and it has cilantro, onion, this and that, salsa. And they're like, where's the hard shell? Hard shell? No. Where's the lettuce, freaking sour cream? I'm like, no. Where's the ground beef? I'm like, no.
No, that's not, yeah.
I'm surprised a lot of people here don't. I don't know. I think now it got better, but they don't know. I'm so glad.
But don't you think? And I think both are good. I think you can have your Taco Bell, Taco John taco. Okay,
both are fine.
It has a point. It does something right. You got to like a Taco Tuesday. Okay, but you got There's something special about those real authentic, and then with a real corn.
Yep.
2 tortillas. For taco, right?
You do know. Okay.
I don't. Yeah.
Oh, snap.
So you look at me and you say, hey, this guy doesn't know much, but you see.
Oh, snap. Now, if I was at Sioux Falls, I would probably vote for you.
I had you at street taco.
Yeah. That's how you get me.
That's how I get you. Jose is all about the taco. And cultures. Let's talk about that for a minute. You have the culture. You talk about your background. My background. Like I said, part of my family moved to Sioux Falls for business opportunities from Michigan back in the 1950s. Actually, via Minneapolis, St. Paul. But my mom's side, they were Norwegian and German immigrants, right? Farmers that came for land during the homesteading time. So that's a long time ago. But the same reason that folks come today, it's for those opportunities that we talked about, right? And Sioux Falls, we're so dang lucky to have folks from so many different places. The other thing that really has made our community richer, in my opinion, is, we're also a place that has accepted over the years lots of different refugees and families from all over the world that are in need of a safe place to live. And Sioux Falls has been that welcoming place for those families. And so when I was a teacher, my wife still is, and when you work in the schools, you see all these kids with all these different languages, or you go to the schools and they have flags around the ring of the gymnasium, for example, with all of the different countries that students at their schools have come from. What a rich environment to grow up in, that diversity. And the food part that you brought up just a minute ago is a good entry point into those cultures, right? To showcase those cultures. We had a friend at the gas station 6th and Burnside in Sioux Falls, Mike and Alma. Mike was Ethiopian. Okay. Nobody in the world is as kind as Mike was, our gas station man. I mean, his wife, they'd come to my son's plays, like elementary school plays, if we told them about it. That's the guy that owns a gas station on the corner, but he's from Ethiopia. He invited us to his daughter's graduation, but we got to try all her home cooked food from Ethiopia. By the way, it's pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, their homemade beer, pretty strong. Mike and Alma have since moved out of Sioux Falls, and that's a bummer. But those experiences have helped me grow as a person, right? Because I had those opportunities to learn. I've never been to Ethiopia, but I've now know a little bit more. Yeah. Because I know those families. When it comes to your heritage of your family and what you do, I mean, my neighborhood too. I have people on the corner that live from El Salvador on my block. Christmas Eve, the first year they were there, 10 o'clock at night, knock on the door, and there is Calvin with a paper bag full of pupusas that were just made by his grandmother on the stove. I didn't know that was a tradition. Mm-hmm. In their country, that's a tradition. And that's what they do on Christmas Eve. And then they share with their neighbors. Oh. So we learned that, right? Oh. That happened right here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Yeah. Okay. We learn those different things. I think it's nothing but when you talk about this, it helps all of us be better people.
Yeah. It's amazing how
richer.
It's amazing how food brings people together.
Like, totally.
Yeah. Same thing we were doing over the Christmas break. We do a bunch of tamales, and we're just heading out to our neighbors and this.
Yes,
and that.
See, it's within that Latin American culture, that those traditions, and sharing then too that with your neighbor. That's awesome. So the tamales, what's in your tamale?
We do a green salsa with chicken, and then a red salsa with pork. And sometimes if we have leftover salsa, we put a cheese. It'll be the queso Oaxaca. And then sometimes when Myra's my wife, when she's in the mood, she'll make the sweet ones. She'll make these.
Oh yeah, I've had that.
Yeah, she said, or she made them with, what was it? Guayaba? Or what's guayaba in English? It's a yellow fruit. Man, that's gonna be in my head. Guayaba, guava. That's
guava is help me on that.
Guayaba.
Guayaba.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Am I saying that right? See, the thing about being bilingual is I stutter in both languages.
Well, you got me beat because I stutter in the one. So,
but no, it's great. The food stuff. I'm telling you, my wife is, she loves cooking, and that's why we've been doing all that stuff. And well, since we're talking about Sioux Falls, what restaurants or food? Because Sioux Falls is getting bigger. Oh, I have a uncle.
We have more restaurants per capita in Sioux Falls, South Dakota than anywhere in the country. At least we used to. Oh, it's crazy. When you talked about trying to hit the local shops, that's exactly what I like to do. I like to get out there and try that. Right now in Sioux Falls, it's January, and we have the burger battle going on downtown. If you don't know about that, and it's something you could do down here in Vermillion too, the burger battle. Every restaurant that's a part of it wants to put one in the contest. They all have a signature burger at their place, and then you can vote at the end of the month. And it's amazing the amount of economic impact that has in downtown Sioux Falls, but also just the buzz that it creates. Uh-huh. And you'll have people saying, "Hey, have you tried the one over at Ode, or have you tried the one?" My friend Julian and his wife have have one over at Swamp Daddy's, for example. I was walking through Swamp Daddy's the other day, and they were all practicing. They had it was their day, the day that they're closed, and their whole staff was in making sure they drilled in their burger for the burger battle. So
Okay.
it's a real deal. But yeah, we have tons of great. And again, you can go all around the world with never leaving Sioux Falls. You can get, if you have a hankering for it, we'll find it for you in town.
Okay. No, you guys got everything. So you know about so I work at USD. Actually work at the med school. So you heard about, the med school.
I know where you're going with this one, huh?
Yeah. So so first of all, we don't know what's happening still. And I don't want to say I got the inside info. This is what I'm being told. We don't know we don't know what's happening yet so far. I know they said they might move some of the stuff. Is there a timeline? Has it been pushed back? I don't know.
Kind of affects you though, because you kind of work here, huh?
Yeah, it does. And I like it here a lot.
Yeah.
So one of the things was they said, oh, well, could we go to Sioux Falls? I'm like, no, because I just got a house. I don't want to move to Sioux Falls. Do I mind? It's because I like the small town, but I understand why the med school would go to Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
I understand it because Sioux Falls is booming. All the hospitals, the bigger city. Why wouldn't it be there?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I can understand the heartburn and the pain down here at USD in Vermillion about that, and definitely don't want to minimize that. But I can say from a med school standpoint, if we're looking at it from like a state lawmaker lens, and then also as the guy that wants to be mayor of Sioux Falls, first of all, I welcome it. But but the other thing is those students are already doing a ton of their rotations and things like that in the two big hospitals in Sioux Falls, with the AVEDA and the Sanford campuses both being the largest ones up there. That doesn't mean people aren't going to go out and do rural medicine in other places, but that's where a lot of your instructor staff is also located for those things. And so there's a lot of time been spent for these both med students and their teachers commuting. And in that med world, I mean, how much money is time, right? And so that time is such a valuable resource. So if we can cut that back for that and have those resources closer to be doing that, I still want there to be within USD Med though this strong emphasis on rural medicine, and I think you'll still see that with that. I think it's just going to change that. Where are you for those years of med school? And it was I'm sure a tough choice. I think overall in the long run, it's going to be good for our med school, and it's going to be good for our students that go into that. And I hopefully will see the benefits that though across our entire state when it comes to the healthcare outcomes and the access to healthcare that we get.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll be able to even create more doctors because we know we need them.
True.
What part of the med school do you work at? What's your?
It's they changed it now. It's called it used to be called BBS, Basic Biomedical Sciences. Now it's called BATS. It's the second floor with all the research stuff.
The research. Yep.
Yeah.
And then there's like the Sanford research opportunities too up in the Sanford research area, which is separate from the med school, but we're also trying to tie into that also some through the Discovery District and stuff like that. We're trying to incorporate maybe some research opportunities for medical device invention and those types of things. And if you can get the school along with the entrepreneurs and the inventors all working together in that space, and I think we found it. We're just going to have a better opportunity, I think, driving those folks to bring them in to a Sioux Falls, because even though like Vermillion, small town, and it's good size for a lot of folks, a lot of these people are coming from like, they think Sioux Falls is a small town.
Really?
When they get to a Sioux Falls from wherever they're coming from. So when you come from New York, when you come from Chicago, when you come from New Delhi, I mean, everything's small compared.
Yeah, but I like it. It's cool. I like South Dakota. It's so strange.
It's all, the whole state really is like small town. I mean, the longer you're here, since you've been here since 20, but the longer you're here and the more people you meet, you're going to find out because of the different things you do, because you work here in a town that people come to and leave, but stay in our state. you're going to know people all over this entire state. And you'll go to somewhere like Al's Oasis in Chamberlain. You'll be having dinner and you're going to say, somebody's going to come up to you and talk to you. And you're 4 hours away from here, or 3 hours, but they're going to know you. It's crazy. And that the longer you live here, the more that happens. But I can't go anywhere in this state and not bump into somebody I haven't met because I did something somewhere. I
agree on that. The west side of South Dakota is very different too.
Oh yeah.
We went to the Black Hills. I think around the summer. We went to Mount Rushmore before, but this is the first time we went to the Black Hills. I've heard about it. I was like, well, let's go stay at one of the KOAs, and then let's go around the Black Hills, whatever, and also the Badlands. Man, that place is beautiful. I've never been to.
That's a different type of beauty, isn't it? The Badlands.
Yes, the Badlands, the forest, it was.
Yeah, Spearfish Canyon is one of my favorite places. I don't know if you got to drive that or not. If you get a chance, I love the Spearfish Canyon. The hikes that you can do out there, the different hiking opportunities. I love that. I used to take at-risk youth when I was a teacher at Axtell Park in Sioux Falls. I was a middle school teacher, but we would take some kids that had some struggles, and we would give them an opportunity that if they improved in certain areas, we'd take them on a week's trip to the Black Hills. And a lot of them were urban kids, city kids, never really probably been out of the city. And it was awesome to get them out there into nature and doing that, but we'd take them to the hills. So I learned a ton. So if you ever want trail opportunities, talk to me, because I've hiked a lot of the Black Hills, and it's a special place.
Is South Dakota better than North Dakota?
Oh, of course.
The best Dakota?
Of course. Yeah. Oh, well, there's no question, is there? I'm not going to say it on public, but the joke is, why is South Dakota so windy? Okay. And you can figure out the punchline to that one. Okay. So look it up.
All right. See, we're getting close to 5 o'clock. I won't try to get you, too far along, because I know you're also a busy guy. What do you think about when you guys were, when you were running for governor, did you do a lot of communication with Kristi Noem? Did you talk, or not too much?
I've always had a decent work. Well, it didn't start out so good. The first year I was the minority leader in the House of Representatives, I didn't get talked to once by the governor. She was new governor. I was the minority leader, and we didn't communicate at all.
Really?
From there, Governor now Roden was the lieutenant governor. He helped build that bridge a little bit, and we talked. I would never say that we were friendly, but we weren't adversarial along the way. And there was a cordial work relationship, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Okay. What do you think about her being, what is she, Secretary of Homeland
Security? I really, it frustrates the heck out of me. The things that we are doing right now, I really struggle with what they say they're doing and what's actually happening are different things. And we're just right now, it's a couple days after a tragedy in Minnesota again occurred.
Oh yeah.
With ice, and to get to think that the spin that's being put on that, it's absolutely, it makes me really angry, actually, to think about that. And I really, really struggle with what the point is and what the purpose is. They say one thing, but it actually harms us much more than it helps.
Yeah. I've had people ask me, what's your opinion on Kristi Noem? I don't know too much. She was governor, I think, twice, but I didn't pay too much attention. Now she's the whatever. I'm not taking a jab at her, kind of, because I asked her if she wanted to be on and she never responded, so maybe that's why. But I know that she's doing a bunch of stuff for, or she's saying, spending money on border and this and that. I do want to say that it's the money it's not going that well, because there's someone that I know that he came here illegally from Mexico, and then he went back, and then like a while back, I think a few months ago, he told me, he said he's going to come back again. I said, hey, no, you can't come back, because they got like a new secretary. They're going hardcore on this stuff. There's no way you'll cross. What do you know? He calls, or he notifies us. He's already here. I'm like, what? how long did it take? 13 days. I'm like, oh snap, that wasn't that.
So yeah, they say they're going after the worst of the worst, and we're finding all the time that we're getting people caught up in the crosshairs of all kinds of things that are just trying to do their very best to raise a family, right? And we need to work on how to make sure that folks can be here legally, how we can help make sure that we have workforce availability to do that. If there weren't jobs and people hiring people too, they wouldn't come. And so we have to also look at the people that are hiring folks that aren't supposed to be hired, because they're part of the problem too, right? And a lot of us in this world benefit from the labor of folks that are being taken advantage of. And a lot of times they don't have workman's comp. They don't have the safeguards in place that protect them, and there's nobody that they can report to. So we really do need to work on this as a society, but not in the way that it's being done. Yeah,
we'll see what happens with all this stuff. But right before I ended, hey, Wynie, last words you want to give out? Because you're running for mayor. What?
I am running for mayor, and I'm like I said, I'm super excited. I love helping. I've talked to people about why would somebody put themselves in the place to be scrutinized, or to the other day at the city council meeting, even it got a little ugly at the end, and Mayor Ten Haken looked at me and said, "You really think this is what you want to do?" And I was like, "Yeah, even after watching you, I still want to do it." That's a pretty good sign, right? Because it wasn't an easy meeting to run. It's not easy. You don't do it because it's easy. You do it because you believe in the people, you believe in the place, and you believe in making the world a better place for everybody. And so that really are my motivations to running. And I want to be used by the people of Sioux Falls to do the very best I can for them, and be their servant leader.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I think this is it, but we'll probably, maybe if it's possible, I'll get you on again to see how those updates are doing. But yeah, I do want to thank you so much, Jamie.
Will you make me a promise, Jose? Mm-hmm. Okay, it's a tough one, but when you are up in town, you will ring me. You can't just say this. You got to follow through. We're going to get together and we're going to go try some tacos together.
I'm down with that. Show me the best lengua tacos.
We'll go get them.
All right, I'm down for that.
All
Sweet.
Right.
All right. Thanks a lot, man.
It's a deal, man.